Hello, everybody. In this video, I'll be showing you how to set up a character for the DLC. It should only take about 5 hours. Still a bit if time, but much better than 30 hours. Now, let's get started. First things first, get Torrent. Once you have Torrent, make your way towards the Weeping Peninsula. From the gate front, Grace, follow the path down, ignoring all the enemies. Once you get to the bridge, make a right, and then keep following the path down. You'll eventually make your way to the Bridge of Sacrifice. Make your way down, and after a moment you'll see a giant cart. Go up to it and collect the mace. Make your way back to the forked road, and turn left this time and make your way to the Church of Marika at the end of the path. Collect the items. We need the flask of wondrous physic behind the church. Enter the portal by the mountain in the pond. At Greyoll's Dragon Barrow, you can enter the building and get the grace. But turn around and make your way all the way down. Ignore all the enemies since they can one-shot you. When you come across the bridge with the dragon, run past it. Be careful not to die. On the other side, run down towards the Erd Tree. Run around it and hit the spring step and run towards Fort Faroth. Now that we're here, equip the mace and run down towards Greyoll. On top of the mushrooms, you can attack Greyoll. It'll take about 5 minutes to bleed it to death. But once it's close to death, attack sparingly, keeping your stamina around half. And the moment it dies, hop on Torrent and run back to the Grace very quickly. If done right, Greyoll will still be there. If you don't have enough stats to wield the mace, run up into Fort Faroth and go towards the back and climb the ladder. In the chest at the top will be half the Dectus medallion, which isn't needed in this playthrough. But jump down into the roof and run towards the back. Hop into the hole and round the corner and jump around the wall. Run to the back, and behind the rats is another hole with the Radahnn's source seal in it. We need 23 faith and 15 arcane and as much mind as we can get, because we need a lot of FP. Health isn't important, since we won't be fighting any hard bosses technically. Now make your way to Stormhill Shack Grace. We're going to take the shortcut to Liurnia. Head straight north, and once you reach the bridge, just follow the path. Once you're in Liurnia, make your way to Laskjar Ruins. From here, head northwest towards the minor Erd Tree. Once there, get the converted Tower Grace. And just in case we need it later, let's get the memory stone in the converted tower. Jump up on the wall with Torrent, and just go up and jump in the tower. Now we need to defeat the Erd Tree avatar. It's easy to do with Wolf Spirit summons and Firesling incantation. The Firesling incantation can be bought from Brother Corrin in the Round Table, and the Finger Seal from the Twin Maiden Husks. Just use Firesling while going in circles around it on Torrent. Once it's dead, we'll get the Ruptured Crystal Tear, which we will need. Now let's make our way to the Belfries. To get there, just head north while following the path. Ignore all the enemies and go up the Belfries mountain. Once there, we will do the wrong warp skip, so once at the Belfries, grab the imbued stone sword key. Then go to the first belfry down the hill and activate the portal, then enter it. Once you're at Nokron, open your map and use the Castlewood Tunnel Grace site. I don't have it, so I'll use the Round Table Hold. Using the Round Table Hold is harder because it loads faster, so the timing is harder to get. Once the loading bar is almost done, quit the game before the screen goes black and you load in. On Xbox, you press the home button and scroll down and press Start and hit the quit option. On PlayStation, you press the home button and go over to your game, press X, then hit close game. And on PC, you need to turn off Steam Sync before start. Then you can just press Alt F4. Now that we're loading in, we can see that we're right before the Mimic Tier boss fight. Now let's go into the boss room. Before you enter, make sure to unequip all of your weapons. Since the mimic copies you, it'll be much easier to defeat him if he copies nothing. Run up to him, and once he starts to take form, re-equip your weapons and just start attacking him. That's all you have to do. There really isn't much to talk about here. When he has no weapons, it's just a one-sided beatdown. At this point, I'll mention that we'll need one stone sword key to access the room with the mimic tear ashes, so make sure you either pick one up or buy one from a merchant. Once you defeat him, get the grace and head on out. For fun, let's just get this scarab. Since it drops a somber smithing stone 5, there's absolutely no harm in you unaliving it. Yeah, ignore that. It didn't happen. Now that we got the somber smithing stone, let's head over to Nokron. It's down the bridge on the left side up a hill. Once here, just jump onto the roof down here and follow the path on the side of the buildings. Beware of falling and beware of the silver mimic tears. They take the shape of a human and do a lot of damage. Follow the path. I take past the silver mimics, and then run along this broken bridge, run into the building, and then drop down and run into the doorway on the opposite side, and at the end of the corridor will be a stone sword key wall, where we need the stone sword key I mentioned earlier. Use the key, then past this enemy as a chest with our ashes. So backstab the Night Maiden for a little extra time, then spam Y to open the chest and collect the ashes. You will likely die, but it will be fine as long as you collect the ashes. If you didn't, then you just need to make the run back. Alright, so that wasn't that important to do. I just think having the mimic tear early will be useful at some point. Now let's head to the Weeping Peninsula. Run last the giant cart and take a right at the first right available. Follow the path and hug the left wall. You'll come across a bridge. Cross it and follow the path. Make your way down to the merchant shack at the south end of the peninsula. Here we'll need to buy his 3 stone sword keys. From that point, head southeast to the Tower of Return. Climb the tower and kill the archer at the top, and open the chest. The chest will take us to the Divine Bridge in Leyndell Capital. Run up the stairs and get the grace. Head back to the Round Table Hold and run down the stairs by Hugh. Round the corner and activate the stone sword key wall. Open the chest, and we'll get the black key crossbow and bolts. We'll need these later. Open the next door and open the chest in there. Give the Assassin's Prayer Book to either Corin or the Turtle Pope. And get Assassin's Approach. At the Divine Bridge, put the ruptured crystal tear into the wondrous flask and put on Assassin's Approach. Walk down to the edge. Activate Assassin's Approach. Then use the flask while walking off the edge. After about 3 seconds, attack. If you did it properly, you'll live. Activate the elevator, then run to the fortified manor. Now before we do anything here, we should kill Greyoll one more time to get the stats if you don't have them. Let's get a good pickled foot first to get extra runes. There's one on the other side of the first bridge we came across in Limgrave. Go up the hill and run around. And near the edge by the enemies is our foot. Head back to Greyoll and do it again. But this time use the foot before it dies and let it die this time. We'll get around 80,000 runes. I got 100,000 because the group I'm in killed a shard bearer. Use it to get 23 faith and 15% arcane. And as much mind as you can get. Let's head to the Dragon Communion Church and get the Rotten Breath incantation. We'll need it later, but we can use it to defeat Agil easily. Go to Agil in Limgrave and kill him. Just Scarlet rot him to death. Once he's dead, head back to the Dragon Communion and get Agil's flame. Head back to Fortified Manor and run out. Make your way to Avenue Balcony. Equip Agil's flame and get as many cerulean flasks as you can. Run down to the giant door, making your way to the Forbidden Lands. Run past all the enemies and head up the stairs and then up the elevator. Kill the enemies up there. From the top of the stairs, run towards the second brazier from the bottom. Jump into the wall. It will take you along the wall to the brazier. Use Agil's flame when you're at the corner of the brazier. Then jump onto the statue behind the brazier. Then hop onto the fire and make your way along the railing. Jump onto the statue next to the flower pot. Then onto the flower pot. Then jump onto the taller railing. Be careful because it's easy to slip here. Then jump onto the next fire. Jump up and hold B to start your run. The jump onto the next brazier. Then jump onto the railing. Then jump up and hold B again and run into the brazier and jump onto the tower behind it. Make your way around the tower. At the other side, run into the wall and jump really quickly onto the railing. Once on the other side, run to the right to avoid the knight to our left. Then run across the bridge to the Forbidden Lands. The knight on the horse can one-hit you, so be very careful. Once on the other side, go down elevator and go to the Forbidden Lands Grace. Then make your way to the Grand Lift of Roll. Rest at the Grace. Then head to the back of the lift and mark Castle Ward Tunnel. To mark, press Y and press right stick in over the Grace. Then you can just press Y, then Y again, then press Castle Ward Tunnel. Once you're loading in, close the game right before it. The loading bar loads fully at about 98 to 99%. If done right, you will end up in Mountaintop of the Giants. Then go and collect the Mountaintop Grace. After that, make your way to the Castle Sold. Once there, head around the back of the castle, and behind the castle line up with the dash to the right of north on the compass. Run and jump off the edge, and as soon as the camera goes top down, immediately double jump, then start attacking. Swing the entire way down, and after a while, Commander Neil will die, and you'll get his leg. After that, run through the castle and to the top, and collect half of the secret medallion. Next, go to the village of Albernorix and collect the other half from Albus. Then go to the Grand Lift of Rold and use the secret medallion. Run through the secret path. Once in the consecrated snowfields, make your way to Ordina. Then head to the west. At the edge of the map, you will get invaded by a sanguine noble. Just rot him to death and run away from him. Once he dies, you'll be able to use to portal and teleport to Mohgwyn Dynasty. Once there, head out the cave and get the grace below. Then make your way down the path and head to the palace. Then make your way to the midpoint grace. Once there, head up to the boss room. Skip the cutscene or watch it if you want. After that, quit the game. Once you load in, head down the elevator and to the Grace. At the Grace, drop down onto the ledge below, then jump to the right while hugging the wall, landing on another ledge. After that, jump up and hold B, then jump onto the ground below. Then make your way along the rocks to the edge, then activate Torrent. Jump across the gap. Torrent will deactivate, then run along the rocks to the other side. The ground will load out beneath you, so be careful. Then, on the other side, there'll be a hole you can drop down into. Once inside, jump off the edge, be careful of hitting the wall, and swing the entire way down. After about 79 seconds, you'll gain runes, and after 10 more seconds, Long will die, and you'll gain his stuff too. After that, just teleport to a Grace. You can farm this to get as many levels as you want. Of course, Long won't die again. Now we need to talk to Ranni to be able to kill Radahn. So run to Carrion Manor. It's at northwest Lernia. Make your way through up to the boss. At this point, you can use whatever weapon you want. With your rune farming and the locations open, you can pick whatever weapon you want and buy smithing stones to level it up. I'm using the Sword of St. Trina +5. Anyway, fight and kill Royal Knight Loretta. Once she dies, go and talk to Ranni. Once you do that, head over to the southeast of Caelid to Redmane Castle. Make sure you have Rotten Breath equipped. Talk to the old man at the top.
Are you good and prepared, young chum? The festival begins. But now, we must make merry. O gathering of champions, the revels begin! The celebration of war! The Radahn Festival!
Once the festival starts, head to the back and down the elevator. Then go into the portal near the water. Now that the fight has started, summon all the allies. And when he stops firing arrows at you, hop on Torrent and head closer. When you can use Rotten Breath and Scarlet Rot him. Once he's Scarlet Rotted, just run away. When he reaches half, he'll jump away. Head back and summon more allies that died. Then when the scarlet rot goes away, equip the black key crossbow and arrows. Then shoot him with it. The black key arrows can scarlet rot him. Then after that, keep your distance. You want to use the arrows in phase 2 because his moveset becomes more erratic and he can one-hit you. Well, at least he can one-hit me. Once he dies, get the grace. To enter the DLC, we just need to kill Radahn and Mohg, which we did. It took about 5 hours to do. This was done on patch 1.10.1. Anyway, that is all for the video. This was a bit rushed. My original clips got corrupted somehow, so I had to make a new character and go through it. I wanted to show where all the bell bearings are for both types of smithing stones and glovewort. But I want to upload this at least a week before the DLC so people can use the tips in the video, because we don't know what will be patched with the release of the DLC. Anyway, if you somehow made it this far, thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed or found it helpful, please like and subscribe. It would really help out the channel and mean a lot to me. Until next time.